Hey everybody, let's get started. Quick setup for your machine. Bring the black cables down. Make sure your mermaid strap is away from the spring kind of box so that we can use it for a mermaid. Also red pole handy. Different lunge we're gonna try today where it's gonna be weighted and you're gonna be standing on the carriage facing backwards, so you might have to bring the pole out here just like escalator lunge. Quick modifications, anytime we're at the back, you can come on up to the front. We're gonna be starting at the back today, so if you needed to start at the front, you totally could. Smaller range of motion, especially in that leg work and the core work, is gonna make it easier. Anytime you need to modify a plank, bring your knees down. Jessica demoing for us today, as usual. Let's go ahead and get started. So change down to one yellow spring for me. And then walk around to the back, so you're at the back but facing the front. Your knees are gonna be on the back platform, and your hands are gonna be on the carriage. So you're gonna pull the carriage in. I have my no stopwatch again, so I'll be using my phone. Hands are gonna start up on the 8 and the 10. Yep, exactly. So giant wheelbarrow, this is called. Knees are down, your hips are gonna come forward. If you're like, whoa, this is way too much, you can take it right on up to the front for regular wheelbarrow. You'll see Jess brings her hips forward into that modified plank. This is a fairly big exercise to start with. So take the time to lengthen out your neck, lengthen out your spine, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs, and we're hinging from the shoulders. Try to notice as your arms slide forward that your shoulders stay depressed at that point. And that's kind of the hardest part for me. Lift the navel up a little tighter to the spine, just about 15 seconds. Not gonna hold you here long. Try to add a little pause at the front of the movement. We're already shaking a little bit and I really like it. 10 seconds. Relax some tension from your jaw. Squeeze that core up in a little tighter. Hug the sides of the waist in. 3, start to let your arms travel forward. 2, hold it all the way out. Hold it here and breathe. Just 5. See if you can melt the shoulders, relax jaw, lift the navel. Awesome adjustments. Just 3, 2, slowly you come back to full range. 11 seconds. We're gonna hold it right here. You're probably gonna stay on your knees. If you're ready to come on up to your toes, go right ahead. Push-ups in 3, really slow push-ups in 2, hold it in on 1. So knees or toes, it's up to you, but try to go slow and focus on that form, bending your elbows, try to hold the carriage still. Perfect form, Jess. I love her little pause at the bottom. Make sure when you're pausing at the bottom, you guys, draw the navel in, lift the ribs, seal them closed. Spread those collarbones. A little bit slower. You've got 10 more seconds here. We're going to travel right on up to the front from here. So your hands are going to be on the front platform. Your toes are going to be near the number 3 and 4. Up to the front. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome little warm up, you guys. So hands up on the front platform. Toes are tucked. You're in your high plank. Take a second to soften your elbows, wrap the triceps, squeeze your butt, intensify your legs, especially when you're in your plank. Keep the heels stacked over the toes as you slowly bend your knees in, pulling with those low abs for bear. Exactly. You'll see Jess stops her knees right under the hips, perpendicular to the floor, and then sliding it right back out. Try just to go a little bit slower on the way out. Hug your outer hips in. Lengthen out your neck. Don't make big, fast movements with your neck. Just kind of feel your crown lengthen forward. Feel the back of your skull lift a little bit, and then bring the chin in. Visualize the neck getting longer. You have 10 more seconds here. Now we're going to stay up on our hands. Now you know if your wrists are bugging, you can always come down to your forearms if you need to. I'm going to get you off the hands right after this one. See if you can fight for it. Legs slide back in 3, 2, take it all the way out back to that straight leg plank. Take a second, maybe just 5 seconds. Squeeze your legs a little stronger, lift the navel, lengthen your neck. Slowly plank to pike. Straight legs, take your hips towards the sky. Beautiful lift, Jess. Trying to keep the spine neutral, you guys. So going really high isn't what you're going for. Especially if your hamstrings are tight and you're taking this session early in the morning, right? You maybe haven't moved around a lot before this, so make sure you're isolating into those abdominals. Some days I only lift 2 or 3 inches. Some days I can pike it all the way up and flip upside down. You only have 10 more seconds. Check in with those shoulders for me. Awesome fight, Jessica. Triceps still wrapping, elbows still soft, your butt is still squeezing. Try to feed your inner thighs up into your hip sockets. 4. We're gonna take it out to our plank. 3, 2, slide the legs all the way back. 3 seconds here, we're transitioning onto our elbows in 2 and 1. Bring your forearms down, awesome. Take a big inhale. You might have to scoot your toes back a little bit further on the carriage. If you need to come to your knees, by all means, right? Don't let your head get closer to the front platform as you begin to saw your shoulders back. Real slow, perfect control, Jessica. It could be tiny, you guys. It could be a 1/4 inch of movement, keeping it honest, lifting the navel. Feel those legs working hard as well. Maybe you start to push the range of motion back a little further. Maybe you're not moving at all. Maybe you're like, nope, holding right here. Do you take time in between the movements? You're almost there. 10 seconds, fighting for it right now. 8 seconds. Squeeze those inner thighs, making it look real easy, Jessica. 5, 4, stack your shoulders over your elbows and hold. 3, 2, hold it right there. Hold it. Now this is your last push. Holding right here. After that movement, after the bear, after the pike, after the wheelbarrow, after the body saw. Now you gotta hold everything in. You gotta feel all the feels. Hug your lats back. Push down into your elbows. Lift the back of your head. Without lifting your hips, draw the navel up tighter. Cinch the sides of the waist in. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze your inner thighs tighter. Reach back through your heels. You're halfway there. Dig in a little bit. Let that breath be your kind of energy here. Totally. You can come down to your knees if you need. I'm going to let her know when she's only got 15 seconds left and maybe she comes back up. I don't really know. Breathing in, breathing out. This is it right here. Last 15 seconds. We're going to get up on the legs from here. No pressure to get back to the toes, but you can if you can. 8, 7. We're going to step our left foot up. It's elevator lunge. In 3, 2, 1. Woo, so good. So left foot is forward on your front platform. Right toes, take them all the way back to that first red line. Make sure your feet are hips distance. You got your pole there for balance if you like it. Check that your left toes point straight ahead. Make sure that knee is right over your ankle. So you're bending your knee. Your hips will travel back and down to keep the knee to ankle alignment. 15 seconds or so. Engage through your inner thighs a lot. Hug the shoulder blades down away from your ears. 5 more seconds. Start to meet me down at the bottom. In 3, take your time. 2, hold it down low on 1. Low as you can get. Push it a little bit lower. Tuck your tailbone a little bit. Squeeze your back butt cheek, your right one. Now you can use your bars here if you need to. Really slow without moving your legs. Begin to lean your spine forward over your left thigh for long jump. Once you're leaning, try to drop your hips a little bit lower. Awesome. Tuck the tail, lift the core a little bit. Awesome adjustment. Now you can keep your arms where they are if you want more. Try to reach your hands back behind you. You can turn your palms up if your shoulders are tighter. You can turn your palms inwards so your pinky edge of your hand is lifted if your shoulders feel a little bit more open. Squeeze your shoulder blades, roll your outer shoulders back, and reach through your hands a little bit. Push into all 4 corners of your heel. Just a few more seconds. Sink in a little bit lower. We're going to reverse out of it. Take an inhale. Try not to move your legs. Remember, use your arms to lift if you need to. As slow as you can, lift your chest. Yes, Jessica. Now sink all the way down. Slow as you can go. Start to rise back up. Last 30 seconds of movement here. No holds, no challenges. Your challenge in your own body is keeping it so slow on the way up. And on top of going slow on the way up, can you rise without straightening your knee? Keeping the core tight, challenging your leg to start to shake. Get that hamstring glute complex to fire. You have 8 more seconds. You're gonna pivot to your right, left foot stays, inner thighs. In 3, 2, 1. Good job. So take a pivot. Left foot will stay on that platform. Right foot, you could step it all the way out to the 3 or beyond that will be harder. Right foot on the number 1 will be easier. Stand up nice and tall. Your toes are pointed pretty much straight ahead. And then you're starting to open your legs out. Try not to favor your left leg. Keep your hips, your pelvis centered between your legs as the carriage opens out. Tailbone is heavy, perfect posture, Jess. Everybody lift up through the top center of your head. But as you lift up higher through your head, make sure your ribs don't flare forward. Take the front ribs back in. Think about lifting your back ribs away from your hips. Next one, I want you to start to slide out as far as you can possibly hold it. Take it out. Hold it out there. Go big. Big push. Hold it out. Modify as you need. Make sure you feel it mid-thigh rather than in the groin. Hug the shoulder blades down. Soften your knees. Kind of push into your toes a little bit so you feel the quads light up. Your whole leg is engaged. Front, back, and obviously inner. Try to find the outer as well. I want you to pull in just a sliver, a little closer, and then right here, little squeeze in, little squeeze out. Release the glutes a little bit so you feel core, inner thighs. Yeah, your booty's working too. You have 5. Melt the shoulders, stand up taller, re-engage the core, push again towards the front of the foot. Take it all the way out, come all the way back in. You're back to your full range of motion. Now the next exercise, you guys are gonna have a quick spring change. We've got about 20 more seconds here. We're gonna move into reverse runner's lunge. So you're gonna be facing the opposite way that you normally would in runner's lunge. I'm gonna say 1 red heaviest. If you feel like you don't really get low in runner's lunge, I want you to go a little bit lighter to 4 yellows. Last 10 seconds here. I'm gonna change Jess's springs for her. You'll see she's probably gonna grab her pole and put it on the right side of her machine once she faces the back. In 4, reverse runner's lunge, either 1 red or 4 yellows. In 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So, changing the springs, 4 yellows or 1 red. 1 red will be harder, but low, you wanna be low in this one. Slide your foot underneath the strap so you got some leverage. And then bend your left knee, come all the way down into your lunge. Kick your right leg straight as it'll go. Keep your tailbone heavy. Keep your back heel lifted. Now focus a lot on the core, you guys. Drill this left heel down so heavy and then lunge that knee a little forward. Begin to bend your right knee real slow. So you're traveling backwards. Your left heel is still pressing. Sit a little bit lower. Bend the right knee a little bit more. So backwards. Yeah, right there. Stopping right under the hip. And then start to drill into your left heel as you drive forward with your right glute. So try not to press with the front of your right thigh. Squeeze your right butt cheek in your mind's eye. Slowly as you can. You're resisting as you slide backwards. Perfect, Jessica. You could definitely lean a little forward here if that helps you isolate that booty a little more. Think about those abs, every inch of the movement. Your rib cage knitting closed, your tailbone heavy. This is all about that lumbar pelvic stability, everybody. 4 seconds. Good, keep pushing that left heel down so heavy. Exactly. Next one, bend your right knee so it's right underneath your hip. I want you to sink a little bit lower. Push your left heel down. And then I want you to think carriage kick like in your escalator. Push your left heel 2 inches out. Oh yes, squeezing that booty, lean a little bit forward, and then 2 inches in. Back leg doesn't move, your right butt is still squeezing. Left heel 2 inches out, really good. And then we're 2 inches in, stay with it. 2 inches out, bring it back. 2 inches in, hold it, push into that heel so heavy. Lift your back heel a little higher. 2 inches down, lower, yes. 2 inches up. 2 inches down, you totally got it. 2 inches up, one more time. Come 2 inches down, hold it real tight. 3, push your left heel. 2, as slowly as you can, you guys start to rise up. Slow, slow, slow. As you rise, keep that tailbone reaching towards the floor. Yes. Once you're up high, start to drill all the way back down. Bend your knees. Try to get lower than you started. Try to hold that carriage perfectly still. So you're coming up and down now. It's bigger than those 2 inches, but you're still trying not to lock your knee and lose the fire at the top. Let's start to come all the way down, all the way down. Sit as low as you can. Push your left heel. Lean a little forward if you need. Slowly press out. Slow as you can go. Yes, awesome. Left knee still right over the ankle, everybody. This is your last 10 seconds. We're gonna transition into our super lunge. So big spring change for some of you. If you got 4 yellows, you're gonna want 2 reds and 2 yellows. Last 4, awesome. Open up those shoulders, open up the chest. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, hang up your pole, transitioning down to hands and knees. Left foot will stay forward for the super lunge. So right toes tuck back, kind of similar position to that runner's lunge. Start to row as you rise. Pretty difficult to be honest and in that range of motion on this one. Try to keep a generous bend in your knees at the top. As you come down, let this be challenging. Try to get your right knee really low, really close to that carriage. Here's the hardest part for me. As you're rowing and you're standing up, right? You're squeezing those shoulder blades back tightly. Make sure you're closing your core. You feel your abs burning as you do that. Let's start to come down nice and low on your next one. Good. Hold it down. With your arms straight like this, I want you to give me a little squeeze down. Hold it. Another little squeeze down. Hold it. And then with your core so strong, hold your legs, but row your arms all the way in, all the way in, all the way in. Hold it there. Little squeeze down in your legs, hold your arms, awesome. Little squeeze down, hold it, awesome. Strong with the core, slowly as you can. Just straighten your arms, just straighten your arms. Hold the legs, arms are out in front of you now. Little squeeze down, awesome. Little squeeze down, hold it. Pull your arms all the way in, all the way in, all the way in. Hold your arms real tight. Give me little squeezes, just 5. Little tiny squeezes down, just 3. 2, hold it all the way down, 4. Get lower if you can. Yes, 3. Awesome, Jessica. 2, slowly rise. Slowly as you can go, start to rise up. Once you hit the top, you're coming right back down. Last 20 seconds of movement here. Get that full range. And again, try to challenge yourself to keep a bend in your knee at the top so that your legs do start to shake. So you feel that maximum effort. This exercise is intense, full body. Last 10 seconds. We're gonna change back down to 1 yellow spring for our last left leg exercise. So once we get there, just gonna drop to her knees, change to 1 yellow. She's gonna step to her left and pull the carriage to the back, reverse floor lunge. In 3, 2, 1. Good job. So change down to 1 yellow, step to your left side, and then pull the carriage with you to the back. Once the carriage is touching the back platform, so bring it all the way up, and then, nope, scoop your left foot all the way forward. Bring it a little bit closer to the machine though, and then move that red cable out from underneath your foot probably. There you go. And then bring your right toes back here to this strap. Exactly. So your right toes are hooked underneath the back strap. Bend your left knee, begin to lower yourself down into your lunge. Now you'll see I turn Jessica's bar out in front of her so she has a place to rest her hands, to help balance, whatever you need to do here. We're pulling against the springs now. We've kind of pulled with the springs, we've pushed against the springs, and now we're pulling against the spring. Super slow, super strong. Like the other lunges, we're trying not to lock the knee at the top. This one kind of creates a little bit more fire here at the back of the machine. If you needed to modify this one, you could totally take it up to the front for regular floor lunge. You would just be standing on the other side of the machine, facing the other way. Let's start to make our way all the way down to the bottom on your next one. And you might not be able to do it the whole time, but you're gonna try occasionally. First things first, push all 4 corners of that left foot down, lift your core, relax the shoulders, the jaw, lengthen your neck. See if you can come down a little bit lower. And then from here, again, you can use it occasionally or not. See if you can lift your hands off the bar. Just trying. And again, if you need to bring them back on, you bring them back on. And then when, yes, Jess, good shaking. Holding on to it, sinking a little bit lower. Yes, 5 seconds, I know. Squeeze those inner thighs at each other. Right hip a little forward. Yes, really good. Slowly as you can, everybody, give me 1 inch down. We're almost there. Give me 1 inch up. You have 8 seconds. 1 inch down, stay with it. 1 inch up. Last time, go all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Yes, and you're back to full range. As slow as you can move. Your last 20 seconds of movement here. Last one, left leg. We're coming to the front from here. getting it into the obliques. We're gonna move into an exercise called platform teaser. So it's like teaser, except your hands are on the front platform. If you needed to modify, teaser would be where you wanna go. If on the flip side, you're feeling like you need a little bit more, do it right here at the back. Giant reverse platform teaser. It's like French twist. In 3, Jess is coming to the front, left foot crosses right in 2 and 1. Awesome, everybody. So hands up on your front platform. Your feet will be crossed. Your toes are pointed to the right. Left foot is crossed over your right. Now, you'll all be slightly different in this one. You can have your heels lifted or you can have your heels down. It's up to you. We had our first piking effort a little bit earlier in our opening core block. This is the same action here. Your hips should be turned to the right slightly at least. And then you're lifting from that left side waist. You guys, for me, I'm not lifting even nearly as high as Jessica is. She's super flexible though. If you're less flexible like myself, isolate the left side of your waist. It's not about getting upside down. It is about feeling your core work. That left oblique is your target. You have 10 seconds. We're gonna hit a little bit of a challenge. You're gonna open your ears and really try to focus on it. Squeeze your butt and squeeze your inner thighs a lot right now. Next one, I want you to slide your legs all the way back. Your feet are still crossed, your hips are still turned. Hold it here. I want you to bend your knees 2 inches in, real small here. Squeeze that left side. Yes, Jessica. And then slide them back out to straight. And then squeeze it 2 inches in, and then slide it back out to straight. One more time. 2 inches in, squeeze it, strong arms, you guys. Slide it back out to straight. Listen, slowly. 2 inches up, straight legs. 2 inches down. Awesome, Jessica. 5. We're gonna come onto your left elbow for side plank. Stay on your knees. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So your left elbow is down. You're facing to your right. Your knees are down. Take a moment to make sure that your knees and your elbow are in one long line. Now push into your elbow so you kind of lift out of your shoulder. Right arm is up to the sky. If you need support for your left shoulder, use your right hand on the bar or on the front platform. We're gonna take it into thread the needle. So Jess is gonna start to lift her hips. She's gonna thread her right arm underneath. You can see that her rib cage and her hips twist slightly, left shoulder strong. And then as she inhales, that right arm reaches back up towards the sky, lengthening the neck. And she's gonna hold it in that side plank for a second, right? Tuck your tail, feel that left side lift. And then as you exhale, round, really cinch that left side waist. You guys, your legs are active. Squeeze your inner thighs. Your left shoulder has to work so hard right here. Slow it down, breathe deeply, adjust range of motion if you need to. Don't just go through the motions. How do you feel this the most effectively in your body? Another option, you guys, you can bring both elbows down like that side crunch if that left shoulder just isn't having it. 3, you're gonna slide all the way back to your side plank on the knees still. 2, all the way out on 1. Right arm to the sky, legs are energetic, tailbone reaches to your knees. Give me the tiniest little squeeze. Up, up, just 8, 7, we come to the back. It's mermaid. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. So all the way to the back, you're gonna have your right hip down, your left foot will hook the strap, still on that left side waist. We're gonna start just straight up and down for the first, 20-ish seconds, just establishing the length in your spine. It's kind of like side plank if you think about it. You're leaning down sideways. You still have to work your center core, you guys. Make sure you're not arching your back here. If that's something you do, try bringing one hand behind your back, one hand in front of your waist, and make sure you don't feel a dip. Make sure you feel your center abs working. You have about 5 seconds. We're gonna keep each movement its own, but we're gonna add a twist. On your next one, start to bring it down. When you're low, hold it for a brief second. And then as slowly as you can, with stable shoulders, begin to twist to your right. Pause there, check in, lower core is engaged, and then rotate back to your left. Pause here, make each movement its own. And then slowly begin to lift up. Slowly begin to lower down. And then again, you take the twist. If you can. If you want to leave out the twist, you absolutely can. I'm cueing you to do the lower and then the rotation, so each movement gets its own special love. If you're feeling more advanced today, you could rotate and come down at the same time. It is harder to do correctly, And honestly, stamina-wise, it's harder to not take a break if you do it that way. Just 5. You're gonna hold it low in 3, untwisted, so facing, sideways, in 2, and 1. So finish out where you are, hold it, shoulder blades down, maybe left arm up, maybe right fingertips behind the ears. Give me little squeezes up, up, just 5. You're gonna grab the carriage, hands on the 8 and the 10, toes where your butt is, 3, 2, 1. High plank here at the back. So hands are on the carriage again. If you needed to go to the front, you could. If you needed to be on your knees, you could do that too. Slowly as you can, dancing bear both sides. So arms are strong, you're gonna begin to bend your knees to one side. Perfect form, Jessica. Slowly back out through the center, and then even slower going on over to the other side. So alternating sides, beginning to warm up the other side of the waist. If you want more, you guys, and you can keep control here, add in a push-up or 2 when your legs are straight. If that's not for you, maybe you just hold it a little bit longer. Slow it down. You're well over that halfway point. This is right about where I'm like, oh gosh, halfway, I've got that much more battle. I want you to try to fight and stay in it. I want you to hold when you need to hold. Maybe you keep your knees bent at either side a little longer. Maybe you add a pulse there. Squeeze your buns now. Relax your jaw now. Dig in with those shoulders, those lat muscles. You only have 8 seconds. We're sitting down. It's super crunch in 5. Perfect form, Jessica. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. So take a seat, tuck your toes. It's super crunch. Knees come in towards your chest. Sit up nice and tall, no twists. We're gonna start to lean back. Legs are gonna start to extend away from you. Range of motion is yours. The further you lean back, the harder it is to keep your neck in alignment, your shoulders engaged. The further your legs go straight, the harder it is to keep your spine, your lumbar spine neutral. If this exercise is difficult for you and you feel it in your lower back at all, I want you to come into more of a posterior tilt where you tuck your tailbone and kind of C-curve that lumbar spine a little bit more. It's not neutral, but it's gonna help you, first of all, cultivate that deeper core strength, but it's also gonna help you keep any tension out of the lower back, which you don't want any part of pain in this exercise or any other one for that matter. Keep the chin lifted slightly away from the chest, and then just see if you can slow it down. I have no holds, no challenges in this one today. So if you're wanting to challenge yourself, maybe you add a pulse at the back, maybe you lift your arms up a little higher, maybe you bring your fingertips behind your ears. Maybe you're just trying to go slower and keep it honest. You only have 15 more seconds here. We're gonna move right into the other side of the waist with that mermaid. Remember, the first part is just straight up and down. There is no twists in the beginning. We gotta warm up that right side first. Last 8 seconds, we're gonna ditch the carriage. You're gonna pivot on your hips so that your right foot comes to the strap on the floor. In 3, 2, and 1. Good job. So right foot hooks up, sit on your left hip, take a second to lengthen out your spine, kind of like a side plank, and then you start to lean down. Again, make sure your tailbone is reaching down towards the back of the knees from the side view, one line from the side. Your body is in a neutral position here. Shoulder blades squeeze together gently on your back, about 10 seconds, and then we'll add in that challenge. I said it briefly on the other side. If twisting doesn't feel good or you know you have disc issues in your back, kind of can be not a good idea. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. If you've been told rotation or you have like a slipped or bulging disc anywhere, probably don't do it. It's all good. Up and down is a great exercise. Next one, begin to come down towards the bottom. Hold it. Shoulder blades tighten on your back, and then begin to rotate to your left. Less can be totally more here. And then as you exhale, rotate back to your right, pause, and then lift up. Feel how much it radiates. Feel every inch of it and fight to stay in control. The smaller, perfect form, Jess. The smaller twist is gonna make it a little bit easier. Notice the difference from one side of your body to the other. Most of us can't rotate as much on one side versus the other. You have about 6 seconds. We're gonna hold it low to finish it out. You'll be untwisted in 3. Finish out wherever you are, take your time. 2, hold it down on 1, you're facing so that you're straight on, maybe right arm to the sky, left fingertips behind the ears, little squeezes up. We're coming to the front, platform teaser, right over left. In 3, 2, 1. Good job. Come on up. So at the front, right foot crosses left, toes are pointed to your left, cinch up through that right side waist, and then begin to lift like a pike, but you're twisted. Slow and steady. You might also try adjusting, you guys, how much your hips are twisted. Maybe you try it with your feet flat, with your heels down. I'm not super into that variation. I feel it much more in my right hip, especially on this side. I keep my feet slightly apart and my heels lifted. You have about 10 more seconds. Soften your elbows, wrap your triceps, especially since we've had some planks in between the last time you did this. Dig in, squeeze your butt, engage those inner thighs. Form looks perfect, Jess. Next one, let's hold it all the way back. Breathe here for a second, lengthen your neck, and then bend your knees 2 inches in. Keep it really, really small. 2 inches out. 2 inches in. Good, 2 inches out. One more time, 2 inches in. Go 2 inches back out, straighten your legs, squeeze your inner thighs, 2 inches up, straight legs, 2 inches down, just 6, 5. You're gonna come onto your right elbow, that modified side plank. Your right elbow and your knees will be in one line. 3, 2, 1. So bring your right forearm down. Bring your knees into line with your right elbow. And then you can lift your left arm up, or you can use your left hand to help on the black bars or all the way onto that platform. For me, my right side, my right shoulder holding me up is a lot harder. As you exhale, begin to pinch the right side of your waist. Begin to thread that left arm underneath. Your hips lift slightly. Your rib cage and your hips turn slightly with that left arm. Scooping out that right side waist. So it's a little bit of a C curve. You are rounding your spine. You are lifting your hips. That left arm threads under. Remember, if this is too much on your shoulders, lift out of that right shoulder. You can always use that left elbow down as well, or just push on those black bars. You got to do what you got to do here. Sometimes my shoulder just isn't having it. 5, finish them out. 4, slide the knees to your side plank. 2, hold it out, hold it out, hold it out. Maybe left arm higher to the sky. Maybe it helps you balance. Give me little cinches up. Right side waist is squeezing. Little cinch up. Just 6, 5, both elbows down in a plank hold. 3, 2, 1. Good job. So elbows are down, toes are tucked. If you need to be on your knees, go right ahead. Take a second. First, push into your elbows. Hug your shoulder blades down your back. Squeeze your armpits. Squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your glutes, reach through your heels. I want to focus on really slow, you guys. Slowly as you can. Draw your navel up. Roll your hips to one side. Hold it there. Squeeze it tighter. And then focus on your center abs as you come back to center. Slow, 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 slow. Hold it in the center. And then even slower, roll it through to the other side. Take a moment there. Squeeze it. Shorten that side waist. Draw your navel up. Slowly roll to center. So good. Hold it in the center. Briefly feel it. And then roll it right on over to the other side. You're almost there. Do it slower, you guys. Less is more. Make the movement smaller, tighter. Feel the challenge. Feel your shoulders working hard. You have elevator lunge on the right leg in 5, 4, right foot up. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. That was so fun, Jess. She's still silent over here. Right foot is forward. Stretch out your feet, darling. That one will not want to do that anymore. There you go, good. Make sure all 10 toes point straight ahead. Right toes especially point straight ahead. Your feet are about hips distance width apart. Inner thighs are squeezing. Your tailbone is heavy. About 10 seconds. Slow, steady. Keep your gaze lifted slightly. It's okay to look down and check your alignment, but when we start to look down, your posture starts to follow. So our chest starts to fall, our shoulder blades start to sag a little bit. Next one, start to make your way down towards the bottom. Take your time, hold it there in 3. Hold it low in 2. Hold it down on 1. Now see if you can get a little lower. Push into all 4 corners of your right foot so your butt ignites. Straighten your back leg a little bit more as you squeeze your left butt cheek. Now try not to move your legs. You can use your arms. Slowly lean forward with your spine into that long jump position. Hold it. Once you're leaning, try to bend your right knee a little more. Awesome, Jess. Draw the navel up, tuck the tail, good adjustment. Now maybe your arms can reach back. Maybe they can't though. Maybe you're like, nope, I'm gonna stand up if they do, but maybe they do. Palms facing up will be a little bit softer on the shoulders. If you can, maybe rotate your palms inwards, pinkies are lifted. Squeeze your shoulder blades, close the front ribs and breathe here for 5. I know, maybe a little bit lower, squeeze those inner thighs, tap the right hip slightly back, good adjustment without moving the legs. Slowly start to lift your chest. Remember, use those bars if you need to. Lift your chest, tuck your tail, sink a little lower, and slowly rise up. Go real slow, yes. Pushing into all 4 corners of your right foot. We're coming down just as slow. So these last 20 seconds or so, that's the hardest part. You still gotta be trying to get it to shake on the way up. You still gotta try to keep that bend in your knee at the top. So we're fatiguing these muscles, you're layering reps together. You have 10 more seconds. We're gonna pivot to your left for inner thighs. I'm gonna have you turn your toes out a lot for this variation today. If it doesn't feel good when we get there, turn them back forward. No big deal. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. So turn to your left. Right foot will still be on the front platform. Left foot could be out on the number 3, or a little bit closer will make it easier. Stand up tall. Your toes are turned out. Just make sure that your toes are turned out an even amount and one foot's not like turned out and the other one's like forward. Your feet are level. Begin to slide your legs apart. You might not get out as far in this variation. Keep a softness in your knees. Squeeze and pull your legs back together. Try not to pull them back together so much that you feel like you're taking a break. Working slightly more into the back of the adductors here. Inhale, you slide out. Exhale, you pull in. Melt the shoulders. Energize around the shoulder blades. Hug the front ribs in. And next one, let's start to slide it out. Maybe only halfway. Maybe just a quarter of the way. Not very big. Make sure you're pushing evenly into your left foot with your right foot so you're not favoring the right side. And now here, really tiny, little tiny squeeze in, little tiny squeeze out. Awesome, Jessica. Little tiny squeeze in, stand up a little taller through your neck, little tiny squeeze out. 3, 2, here's the hard part. Push it out as far as you can and hold it. Breathe. Squeeze and breathe. Drop your tailbone. Lengthen through the back of the legs a little bit. Hold it here. 5, I know. 4, go out a little further, a little straighter in the knees if you can. Slowly, back to full range. Last push here. We're gonna be transitioning back into that reverse runner's lunge from here. You can use your pole. I like it on the left if I'm working my right leg. The spring options again will be 1 red or 4 yellows. For those of you by yourself right now, remember that your goal is to change that spring quickly and get that butt burning again. Last 11 seconds, push it if you can, coming into our reverse runner's lunge. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. So bringing it in, 1 red or 4 yellows. Right foot slides forward underneath the strap on the carriage. Your left toes are tucked against the strap on the front platform. Your heel is lifted. So kind of just like you would do in regular runner's lunge, except you're facing the other way. Deep bend into the right knee. Make sure that your right knee is right over your ankle and you're pushing into your right heel. Try to sink in a little bit lower. Perfect. And then you're pushing out with the left leg. Try to isolate the booty on the left leg. And then resist as you bend the knee in. Keep your tailbone reaching down. I would say this is evenly as much core as it is right leg, for sure. Slow, steady as you press it out. Tailbone lengthening, right heel pushing. Right heel is kind of spiraling here. Keep it slow, keep it tight. Almost there. Big inhales. And big exhales. Perfect form, Jessica. Again, leaning a little bit forward, you guys, might help you dig into that glute a little bit more. Also, leaning forward is gonna help you keep knee to ankle alignment. It's also gonna help you keep the pelvis more neutral. Right heel is drilling the whole time. That should be something you recheck like every 4 seconds. Heel pushes. And then push it harder. Breathe. Last few seconds like this. Next one, start to bend your left knee so that it's right underneath your left hip. And then squeeze your left butt, lengthen the spine, push into your right heel. Try to get a little lower again in your right leg. Like really feel this one. Now, slowly as you can, about 2 inches. Push your right heel out 2 inches. Yes. Keep pushing the heel down. Bend the right knee in 2 inches. Left butt is still squeezing. Sink a little lower. Right heel pushes out 2 inches. Awesome. In 2 inches. Yes. One more time. Right heel out 2 inches. Bend it in 2 inches. Hold it. Set into the heel again. Slowly down 2 inches. Awesome, Jessica. Up 2 inches. This is difficult. Down 2 inches. Hold it real tight. Hold it real tight. Up 2. Come down 2. Sink as low as you can. Here comes the fun. A little bit of relief. Slowly start to rise up. Do your best not to lock the knee and not to shift back in the knee. All the way down as low as you can get. Feels like super lunge except weighted. Up, coming towards the top, pushing into that right heel. Keep the tailbone reaching down. Let's sink it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down as low as you can get. Melt the shoulders, relax the jaw, push that right heel, squeeze your left butt, push your left leg straight. Out, and then right back in. You have about 15 seconds. We're gonna transition into super lunge. We're coming down this leg mountain today. It's a leg day, in case you didn't recognize that. Pretty much every day is a leg day, Jessica. And then we finished our opening core, we finished our obliques. We'll be moving into the arms to finish off this class. Last 3, 2 reds, 2 yellows, in 2 and 1. Start to bring it in. Hang up your pole if you got it, and then adjust your spring leg. Black cables in your hands, right foot is forward, you're welcome. Slow, steady. So when you're ready, you'll begin to rise. Big balance, lots of core, lots of coordination. You're rising up. I like to roll my arms in as I rise, and then slowly you're resisting with your arms as you start to bend your knees and come all the way down. A little challenge here, especially on the second set. Try not to let your arms go all the way straight when you lengthen them. So squeeze all the way back, and then as you are resisting out, try to let your elbows only come like an inch in front of your rib cage. So you're not anywhere near straight arms. Kind of cultivating that back strength before we get to that arm block. Pushing into the right heel, and squeezing all the way back. Next one, let's start to make our way all the way down to the bottom. Hold it down nice and low. Same range of motion, so your arms, your elbows just slightly in front of your rib cage. Your upper back is still engaged. Give me a little squeeze down. Ooh, nice shaking, Jessica. Little squeeze down, let it shake. Pull your arms all the way back. Squeeze it. Yes, tighten the core. Little squeeze down, so strong. Little squeeze down, hold it. Now hold the legs. Arms only go a couple inches forward. You still feel those back muscles working. Little squeeze down, we're almost there. Little squeeze down, now hold it. Little squeeze down. Little squeeze down, hold it for 4. Lower, lower for 3. Oh yeah, 2. Slowly, rise, pull, squeeze those shoulder blades all the way back. Remember, the core stays tight as the shoulder blades rub. That's difficult. That is literally the hardest part for me in this exercise. Outside of the fire in the legs, when I pull my arms back, you gotta battle to pull that core in. You have 8 more seconds. We transition to our very last right leg exercise. It's that reverse floor lunge. So I've already turned Jessica's bar out. She's gonna drop herself down to 1 yellow. Stepping to the right, the carriage comes with you to the back. In 3, 2, 1. Good job. So ditch the cables, ditch everything except 1 yellow. And then step to the right, bring the carriage with you. When the carriage is at the back, your right foot is lined up with like the number 10 or even that back platform handle. You'll see Jess has her left toes underneath the back strap. Begin to bend down into your right knee. Hips are level square. And then we're drilling into that right heel to rise up. Slow, steady, all the way through. Big inhales, whew, big exhales. Now you get that opening kind of stretch on the left quad and hip flexor. This exercise, challenging for the core for sure, but in a different way. Try not to let that left hip pull on your pelvis. Try to use the left side oblique that we warmed up earlier to level everything out. 10 seconds here, we'll start to move into our last right leg challenge. Start to make your way down to the bottom, hold it there in 3, all the way down to get really low. Push into that right foot. Squeeze your inner thighs, curl your pubic bone forward, melt the shoulders. Now you're just gonna hold on the legs, and I want you to try to take your hands off the bars. And then when you need to put them back on, you just put them back on for a second, and then you try to take them back off. We're just trying to hold here, cultivating this isometric hold. It is hard freaking work. You're almost there. Let it shake, bend into that right knee a little bit more. Here we go. I want you to come 1 inch down, sit in it. Right heel pushes still, you're radiating through that right hamstring. 1 inch up, real slow, so strong, Jessica, perfect spine. 1 inch down, stay with me, you guys, we're right there. 1 inch up. Last time, come 1 inch down, sink a little lower, as slow as you can. Try not to lock it at the top, go back to full range, 20 seconds. Try not to lock it. Once you hit the top, you're coming right back down. Now, there's a black strap on the floor right next to you. The one closest to you, you're gonna grab. You're gonna need 2 or 3 yellows. You'll be kneeling on the carriage with that right black cable facing the back of the machine. It's gonna be a single arm press with a combo tricep kickback in 5. So again, 2 or 3 yellows, grab the strap, kneel on the carriage. 3, 2, 1. Good job. So grab the strap, 2 to 3 yellows, bring your knees onto the 6 and the 7. Your left hand will be on the 11. So you're leaning forward in a tabletop. Scoot your knees to the left a little bit, or to the right rather, 6 and 7. And then right arm is gonna start straight down to your side, you guys, in line with your shoulder. You're gonna keep the right arm straight as you lift it up and back, hold it there next to your hip, and then while you're holding, slowly bend your elbow for a combo kickback. Extend your right arm all the way straight. Once it's straight, then you move the whole right arm back to the starting position. Right arm comes all the way forward while it's straight. Lift it all the way back up, and then bend the elbow. Yep, perfect. Lift out of that left shoulder a little bit. And then some of you, see if you can extend your left leg back. And for a change today, if you're adding the balance, I want you to point your left toes instead of flexing it. And then if you're gonna lift the leg, I want you to freaking lift it, not that high. Pull the lower abs in, keep the hips square. So keep that there, but draw up here. Yes, perfect. Super slow, super strong. You just have about 6 more seconds, you guys. Shoulder blades hugging together, your arm blades are energetic on your back. On your next one, straighten your right arm back to your side, hold it there. Now, slowly and small, give me like 1 inch up, straight arm, 1 inch down, 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Go 1 inch up, hold it there. Now listen, bend your elbow 1 inch, straighten it. Bend your elbow 1 inch, straighten it. Bend your elbow 1 inch, straighten it, hold it. If your left leg is lifted, left leg up 1 inch, down 1 inch. If it's down, you're just holding that arm. 4, 3, switching sides, 2, and 1. Grab the other cable, switch sides. So you're gonna scooch over to your left side. Knees are near the 5 and the 6, right hand is near the 11. Start with your left arm straight down in line with your left shoulder. Sweep your straight arm back, pause there, bend the elbow for a tricep combo, extend all the way back, feel the shoulder and the tricep. Finally, left arm comes all the way back forward. If you added the leg extension on the other side, you can add balance here. It's also a major challenge for the core. Right leg could extend back. You don't have to take that variation. If you do take it, point the toes for a change today. Normally, I have you flex the foot when it's lifted behind you. Strong right arm, which is difficult, right? If you needed to make it lighter, you can reach down and change a spring, or you can take that longer strap in your hand. I frequently go lighter on this one. It's a lot harder, you guys, to stabilize when we're working one arm at a time. This becomes an anti-rotation exercise. You just have 10 seconds. Slow, steady, perfect spine, Jessica. Making it look real easy, as usual. Couple more seconds here. We're gonna be grabbing both cables after this one. On your next one, extend your left arm straight back at your side. Hold it there. Left arm 1 inch down. Keep it tiny, keep it tight. 1 inch up. The arm is straight. You feel your tricep, you feel your shoulder, you feel your back muscles. 1 inch down, 1 inch up. Now hold it up. Bend the elbow 1 inch. Straighten it. Bend the elbow. Straighten it. Bend the elbow 1 inch. Straighten it back. Hold it if your right leg is lifted. Right leg up 1 inch. Down 1 inch. If your right leg isn't lifted, you're just holding and reaching through that left arm. For 5, 4, we need both cables, newspaper, 3, 2, 1. So 3 or 4 yellows, 2 will be a bit of a modification if you need it. Cross your cables. You can stand up on your knees or you can sit back to your heels. It's up to you. Now slowly, keeping your elbows hugging at your sides, you're gonna start to rotate your arms outwards. Pause, squeeze your core, and then try to resist as you come back to center. As much as you're resisting, you guys, you're hugging your elbows tightly to your sides. We're gonna add another combo on this one. I'm gonna give you a few more seconds of movement here. I got you, boo. She was blowing her hairs out of her face. Good, next one, another combo, start to open out. Maybe don't go to your widest spot, you guys. Maybe go just to where you barely start to feel that burn. Hold it. Now combo, and it's all about stability. So again, please, less is more. We're gonna go 1 to 2 inches up with your hands. Try not to let the arms pull forward. Go 1 to 2 inches back to where you started. Come 1 inch inwards, 1 inch out. Up a little, back to start, forward a little, back to start. Keep breathing. Stand tall through your spine. It feels so good, Jessica. 5, 4, stay with me now. 3, 2, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, and you're back to full range. Go really slow. Awesome. Melt your shoulder blades evenly down your back. You're almost there. Last 5. We're going to uncross cables, most likely, unless you want it to be heavier. Sexy back. 3, 2, 1. Good job. So uncross or keep them crossed. It's heavier. Lift your booty, lift your booty off your heels. Lean a little forward. Elbows are lifted. And now we're extending the arms back. So kind of evening things out after that single arm tricep combo kickback. Rib cage lifting, knitting those front ribs into your back. Tailbone is reaching back. Nice range of motion, Jessica. You'll see she's not bending her elbows very much, you guys. You're going for straight arms. And then maybe you're only bending your elbows 3-ish inches or so. So you keep those triceps engaged all the way through. If you think about it like this, when we're overhead tricep extension, you're not coming down and letting your hands rest at the bottom. You're trying to keep constant tension. I would encourage you, if you can't keep that small range of motion, to go a little bit lighter so we can gradually build the strength in the triceps to maintain the endurance portion of this. On your next one, extend your arms straight back. Reach through your fingers to lengthen out your arms, to lengthen out the shoulders and the spine with straight arms, 1 inch forward, and then push it. Lift 2 inches back up. Now 2 inches forward, 2 inches back up. 5, 4, 3, lift it up, hold it up, 2, and breathe. Hold it here, last 5. We ditched the cables, we ditched some springs, reverse cobra. 3, 2, 1. You need 1 yellow, you guys, but 2 is gonna be more support if you need it. If this were me taking class, I would be on 2 yellows. Bring your hands a little bit narrower than the 2 and the 4. Bring your hips forward towards that modified plank position. Press into your fingertips like you're palming the carriage. Begin to bend your elbows. Try to keep your elbows right below your shoulders. The other thing is, if you look at me in the screen, when you bend your elbows, don't let them bulldog out to the sides. You want to keep them right underneath your shoulders. We're still working that external rotation. So your elbows hug inwards. Awesome. Perfect spine, Jessica. Now, push yourselves a little bit, you guys. You only have about 22 seconds here. If you can get your elbows to come lower towards the carriage, it's going to shake. It's gonna make you feel like you're riding your, ooh, all the way down, Jessica. And see how she came up evenly? That's the hardest part. If you can't come up evenly, you can't come up evenly. You gotta dig out of there somehow. Keep going, 10. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Good job, Jess. 5, we'll be on our hands, tuck toes in 3, high plank, 2, and 1. So extend out to your plank. We're on our last 60 seconds right here. So fun. Slowly as you can, slow as you can. So maybe it will be tiny push-ups. I don't care if you only bend your elbows a half inch. Doesn't matter to me. Yes, real slow. Everything is firing now. Keep that core so tight. Just 5. Ooh, nice control, Jessica. Extend your arms all the way straight. Slowly bend your knees and hold the bear. So your knees are right under your hips. This is like your reset right now. You have 10 seconds. We're gonna finish it out right after this. Squeeze the core a little tighter, lengthen your neck, soften your elbows, wrap the triceps. 3. We extend the legs back to straight in 2. All the way out, straight legs. Here we go, push-ups again. You can keep it slow, you can keep it tight. If you've got some spice in there, maybe you start to go faster. You guys, this is your last 12, 11, 10. Slow or fast, it's up to you, but don't give up. 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Bring it in, take a child's pose, maybe stretch your hamstrings, maybe take a pigeon stretch. Another great idea, maybe go ahead and 1 red, 2 yellow, put your feet in the straps for some leg circles or whatever you need. Have a good day.